All right, guys, check this out. Got a pretty sweet ride for you today. I'm going to do a review on 2024 F-350 Platinum Tremor. This bad boy is loaded out. This is the all-new glacier gray color. You're going to notice it's very similar to the Azure gray, just a little bit lighter. So let's get to this. How beautiful is this thing? I mean, this is such a cool, unique color. I like it a lot. This is now 2 Super Duties in a row that I have ordered without knowing the color. So unfortunately, I've had a change of plans and I'm gonna be stepping back into a half-ton truck this year. But this is a truck at this time is available if you're interested at Bob Maxey. Reach out to Josh. This is a totally loaded out Platinum F-350. All right, now let's take a gander at the window sticker. So as you can see, 2024 F-350 Glacier Gray. This has got the high output diesel with the 355 electronic limited slip axles, Tremor package, power running boards, rapid supplement heater, engine block heater, 5th wheel prep, spray and bed liner for a total of $100,495. There's your spray and bed liner. Got your 5th wheel prep, got that beautiful platinum tailgate applique. So when you go with the Platinum over a Lariat, people want to sometimes ask, what do you get? Especially when you compare it to, say, a Lariat Ultimate, like my last truck. Well, one of the things you're going to notice is this grille finish. It's like a satin chrome, and it kind of gives it a little bit of a modern billet look, which is kind of cool. Some people like it, some people don't. I don't mind it. You get the exclusive grille, obviously. Here's the other big thing. These are projector LED housing, not a reflector housing. That's another big thing. You get these grille surrounds, which is also that same sort of finish as the grille finish for the LEDs. Now, here's the reason why you go for a Platinum over a Lariat Ultimate. It's the interior. So the finishes here are very premium. You don't have this like suede finish on the Lariat Ultimate. You got the unique trim pieces up here. You still have the auto up on the Lariat Ultimate, the same as this. You still have the auto presets. But the finishes on the door trim is a little more premium. Let's look at the payload on this truck. 3,874 pounds for an F-350 high output diesel. You also get the Platinum entry guards to get into the truck. But this is what you're really buying a Platinum for, in my opinion. It's the seats. These seats have the max recline, plus it also has the massaging seat feature, which is incredible if you haven't had a vehicle with massaging seats. And then you get the real nice stitching that goes up and down the sides, really nice padding on the bottom. Got this brown inlay in the middle with the Platinum designation in the middle. I'm running massaging seats right now. It gives you 5 different settings: lower rolling, upper rolling, circular cushion, full recovery, relaxed recovery, and 3 different settings of each depending on the intensity. Here's another feature that's really cool about the Platinum that, as far as I'm aware at this time of recording, I don't believe there's another manufacturer that has both upper and lower pad massaging seats. Others have upper or lower, but not both. This is an area where Ford kind of has it nailed. Now let's start this beast up. Okay, this truck comes with the heads-up display, just like a Lariat Ultimate. So what other features would you get in this versus a Lariat Ultimate? Well, besides the seating, besides a little bit of badging on the steering wheel, you get the stitching goes around the steering wheel. You get really nice badging on the top of the center console, obviously seating. See some of the different bezel around the dash. This is also a little bit different material here. You got the stitching that goes across the top of the dash. It's actually part of the Platinum package. You still have the Bang & Olufsen Unleashed system. This truck was ordered without the sunroof. Some people like sunroof, some people don't. This truck is also outfitted with the upfitter switches, which is really nice for off-road use or any utility purpose. You got the sunglass holders, got the nice storage up above here. Here's some other features this has. So you can make some different settings to the running boards. This is really cool too. It's even got an approach detection. So if you're coming up to the vehicle, it comes down. I like that. This is the onboard scales. So if you look right now, it's saying 150 pounds of payload. That's basically representing me. That's kind of the idea. And then you can click on this right here, and it kind of goes into a diagram to show you how the payload represents on the back of the taillight. Very cool. Another feature, this is Pro Power on board. This is not enabled yet, but it is part of the truck. It also has the smart hitch system, which is very cool, kind of set up for each trailer you've got. So if you've got gooseneck, 5th wheel, standard weight distribution, you can go through all these menus to customize it to your vehicle. This truck also has the drive modes. It also has heated and cooled seats, heated steering wheel, just like a standard Lariat Ultimate. This has the wireless charging with the USB A and C. Got some nice storage here in the middle. And in the back, you've got your upper and lower glove boxes, which is really nice. You've got your cover in your glove box area, which is nice, kind of gives you a little extra security. Here's the other feature I like to do on these Super Duties. I call it the squeak test. And this center console is solid. Now, to some people, this is not a big deal. For people like me that drive on the highway a lot, some of the things I like to look at is, in comfort, is where do my elbows rest? Well, one elbow rests right here. I like this. This is very comfortable. My next elbow rests either up here, or down here. That's comfortable. Where's my hands touch? Well, this is comfortable on the Platinum. I like that. But here's the last piece where I think it might sound silly, but to me, I really like it, is this piece right here is padded on the center console. You don't get that feature with the Lariat Ultimate. Just that little bit of padding is really nice. You'd be surprised on a long trip how nice that is. Here's another thing with the Lariat Ultimate versus the Platinum. You get this little bit different bezel around the steering wheel, and the Ford emblem's a little bit different. Steering wheel otherwise is the same. All right, now let's go into drive modes. I'm gonna just start with Eco so you can kind of see. This typically with the Eco mode, it just kind of like delays the throttle inputs and just, as you would expect, focuses on fuel economy. Now the next one is your tow mode, which kind of sets your transmission and some of your different parameters a little stiffer. This menu right over here, see how you can customize it? This is one of the coolest features on the new Super Duty. You can fully customize this dash. Absolutely awesome, okay? That is a very cool menu. Now let's go into our normal mode. So this is just your standard menu, standard engine, transmission parameters. That's nothing crazy there. And then if we go into slippery mode, typically with slippery mode, it's going to engage four-wheel drive high, as you can see down there, which is nice. But it also is going to delay some of the shifting. Sometimes first gear is not even engaged. And then in next mode we have is our off-road mode. Off-road mode, it enables your front display for driving, and it works awesome, and you can kind of see as the steering wheel moves. That is a really cool feature. And then if you look at the menus here, very, very cool. It's a really neat setup. Puts it in 4 high, and if you notice, your locker is engaged. You can unselect it if you'd like, and it just goes off in the corner. I'll put it back on just to kind of show you. Last mode, rock crawl. Rock crawl is going to tell you to put the transfer case in 4 low by shifting to neutral. We're not going to do it for the point of this video, but that's going to engage, and you can kind of see it's blinking down there. For today's video, we're going to go in eco mode because we're going to do our traditional fuel economy loop, and we're just going to kind of see how this truck does our loop. Also, I'm going to add in today something a little different I don't normally do. I actually am going to start doing some decibel meter reading. Typically, I'm not a fan of doing that because there's a tremendous amount of variation between the roads, the vehicles. A lot of YouTubers do this, and I'm doing it just because people have been asking. But I'm not a big fan personally of decibel meter reading because there's a lot of variability that can happen. But I'm going to add this in because a lot of people have asked for it. This truck also has the Pro Trailer Assist, which is nice if you want to use that system. I've never used it. I've had it on a dozen vehicles. I don't know how it performs. Everybody says it's great. I can't speak to it, unfortunately. These heated seats are awesome. They're really warming up nicely. Heated steering wheel's great. When it's cold out like it is right now, we're at 32 degrees. The engine's now trying to warm up, so it's running at about 1,000 RPMs. As soon as I tap the throttle, you'll see it slow back down. That is a cool feature that a lot of the companies are now offering to help warm these diesel engines up a little more. And then here's your 360 camera. Really nice feature. Click on the camera, you can kind of see some of the different features. You've got both displayed on the side. I like that. You've got your hitch view, full 180 bumper, 90-degree bumper, 360, cargo for hooking up your fifth wheel gooseneck, and then there's the other feature, which I don't have. When you drop the tailgate, you get another view, which is really cool too. Now, if we go over here, we've got our spotlights on both mirrors, which is a really nice feature if you're working outside and not. This is turns on your plug for your generator in the bed of the truck or inside. This is your tailgate drop feature. Then you've got all your lighting selection with your display for brightness. And then this turns on your cargo light. Then you have your pedal adjustment and your parking brake. All right, let's go to the second row. See those awesome power steps? Probably gonna pop up here in a second. There we go. Okay, so we just did a video recently kind of comparing the app research versus the OEM boards. Pretty similar speeds actually coming up and down. Let's look at the second row now. Got some really nice padding across the doors, nice stitching. Still got that same nice suede material that follows through with the B&O speakers. Got some great storage underneath the second row. And this is your Pro Power Onboard 2000 watt generator, which is really nice. Now, if we go to the backs of the Platinum seats, still got some nice storage there. We've got our heated seats in the second row with 2 USB-Cs, with also a 12 volt and a 120 volt outlet. This also folds flat, which is really nice. And then you can kind of see, here's your Platinum second row seating. Looks really nice, very premium, with a cup holder in the rear. This is a really nice truck. You can hear the engine revving up now because of the cold idle. All right, now, if you notice, here's the sensor for the payload indicator for the front. We talked about this in other videos, but you see that little bracket? That bracket is actually there for the electric power steering assist, which is incredible how big of a difference that makes for driving and handling mannerisms. We're gonna go do our typical fuel economy loop. I'm gonna reset the fuel economy here and our trip. I'll be surprised to see what the fuel economy is at. I found when these Super Duties have less than 100 miles or so on them, there's like a break-in mode where they don't get the greatest fuel economy, but we're gonna do it nonetheless. So let's get to this. So we got this truck nice and warmed up before we do our fuel economy loop. So the transmission, coolant temps, everything is up to par so we can give it the best shot at fuel economy. I try to do the same thing with all the different vehicles I drive. In most cases, you can't control the wind, you can't control some variables, but what I can control is the loop. I can control the speeds, and I try to make it as consistent between all the different vehicles and models so you can kind of get a feel for it. I haven't driven a Tremor diesel in a while. I spent almost 8,000 miles driving my 2023 Tremor, so I had some good amount of seat time, so I can kind of compare it to this truck. You know that you're getting a lot more content in this truck because this truck was ordered almost identical to my last 2023 F-350 Tremor Lariat, and it had almost 250 pounds more payload. So you could ask yourself, where do the 250 pounds come from? Well, you get the Pro Power Onboard generator, another reason why to get a Platinum. That's really nice if you want 2,000 watts extra. It won't be enough to power an air conditioner on an RV, but it's enough that it'd power about everything else on your RV. Another feature you get with the Platinum is, I've heard, you get a little bit more insulation and sound deadening in the interior. We're gonna find out and kind of see how quiet this thing is on the road in our traditional loop we're gonna do. I've mentioned this in other videos. This truck has the electric power steering assist, and it always impresses me of how much of a difference this makes when you're driving down the road. I think it's worth it just from the simple standpoint, just for ride comfort. I'm wanting to go through the gears, see how this 10-speed trans feels how the power feels versus 2023, and just how does the Platinum interior feel in the comfort versus a Lariat Ultimate. So we're going to get on the highway now and just do our standard little loop. We always do. Average amount of acceleration, eco mode, and we will see how the truck does. If you haven't had a newer Super Duty with the heads-up display, man, it is bright, it's large, and it works awesome. There's a lot to see up front. You don't even have to really look at your gauges, which is nice. Kind of see I'm keeping it below 2,100 RPMs, and I'm already at 70 by the time I'm entering the highway. Anybody interested in a new Super Duty, man, the high output it's got a ton of power. I've said it before, it's really nuts. Like I said before, I'm not a huge fan of using decibel meter readings because there's so much variation in the road, but let's just see what it looks like. I'll just be quiet for a second and we'll see where it settles in. So I'm gonna say 65 to 66 decibels. With no other vehicles around. Not too bad, that's very, very quiet. All right, let's get off at the halfway point. I've mentioned this in other videos, and I'll kind of mention it again. I find every vehicle on the highway has a different like settle in point. Here's what I mean. When I say settle in, I mean like they have an RPM where you can tell they just feel comfortable at driving at. An RPM, which then translates into a speed. This truck, man, it just wants to go. I mean, you have to look down and pay attention because before you know it, you're going over the speed limit. It really feels like 74 mile per hour to me. It feels like it's comfort space. And I'm trying to do this test at 70 miles an hour, so it's kind of funny. It almost feels like it's too easy for it to do that. Another thing I wanted to kind of mention, you know, when people ask, you know, my opinion on these pricing and trucks, I read hundreds of the comments, and most people have the same comment. Man, the pricing on these vehicles is ridiculous. Guys, I don't disagree. I don't write the rules. I just kind of report this. But what I would say is, you know, are these trucks worth $100,000? It just depends on who you are. I mean, and your perspective. I'd like to see this truck for $40,000. That would be great. But at the same time, it's not $40,000. It's over $100,000. But when you're in that category of $80,000 to $110,000 trucks, when you really start comparing the features and what you get with it in resale and all of that, I actually think the Platinum is the best value on the trim lineup that you can get, because it's not much more. You're talking like 3 to 4% more than a Lariat Ultimate with the same features. But of that 4%, it's not like you're just paying 4% more just for the Platinum. You're getting a 2,000 watt generator. You're getting massaging seats. You're getting upgraded interior insulation. You're getting an upgraded interior. So what's that worth to you? That's the question you gotta ask yourself. To me, I think it's worth it, but to each their own. All right, let's see where we're at with fuel economy right now. We're at about 70 on a flat, no one in front, no one behind us. We're getting about 20, 21. Not too bad considering the fact, now we're going uphill a little bit. Not too bad considering the fact that this engine's still in a very early break-in mode. If we did the same loop after 100 miles, we'd even see another improvement in fuel economy. All right, let's finish up our fuel economy loop here and see what we got for the 17-mile loop. 17 miles per gallon for the loop. So here's my takeaway. 17 miles per gallon. To some that might seem good, to some that might not seem that great. Here's what I would tell you. This truck has less than 100 miles on it. See that 35.1 miles? From what I've seen, when these new Super Duties have less than 100 miles on them, there's a break-in sequence going on. And I've seen anywhere between a 5 to 7 mile per gallon improvement once they're past 100 miles. So if we got 17, I could easily see that number being 20 to 25 miles per gallon for this loop. Being the Tremor, you get the overload springs. This one even has the wheel well liners in between. Chrome exhaust tip, very nice. You got the steps in the side, just like you did for 2023. Got your steps in the rear bumper. This one has the 2.5-inch hitch with the newer style of loops, which makes it easier to get your chains around. Then you've got your 4-pin, 7-pin. Here's another cool feature I should have mentioned earlier in a video that you get on a Platinum and above that you can't get on a Lariat Ultimate. See these sensors and cameras? If you're backing up into a fifth wheel or gooseneck, you've got sensors with your tailgate down to show you how far you are from your trailer. That is a super cool feature if you're using a truck like this for a fifth wheel or a gooseneck. I like that. You can't get that on Lariat Ultimate. Obviously, you got your tailgate step, you got your 7-pin, and you got your cameras for auxiliary with your LED lighting, box light, links, fifth wheel prep, spray and bed liner. Here's your generator, your 2,000 watt generator hookup. Very cool. I'm gonna see if this works there you go. So if you just barely touch the tailgate, it will go up. What's my takeaway on the 2024 F-350 Platinum Tremor in Glacier Gray? Number one, I think this color is super cool. It reminds me of Azure Gray, just a little bit more hint of blue. But people ask, are these trucks worth $100,000? Man, I think a lot of stuff is overpriced in the world these days, but that's not really the question. The question is, look at the value this truck provides for $100,000 versus other trucks in the marketplace. And I would beg to say, I think this is one of the best value trucks in the market, even though it's got a $100,000 price tag. And it's simply because if you're in the market for a heavy duty truck that's got massaging seats, heated and cooled leather seats, front locker, rear locker, you could say front locker, limited slip, whichever, a lift kit, 35-inch tires, fifth wheel prep, 4,000 pounds of payload, 500 horsepower, 1,200 foot-pounds of torque, built-in generator, find another truck that has these same features for less money. I think you're gonna have a hard time finding it. My question to you, are you interested in this truck? Because if you are, it's available at Bob Maxey. Josh would be your sales guy. I highly recommend these guys. This is a truck that if I didn't have a new Raptor R coming, this would be the truck I'd be in right now. I like it. I think it kind of gives you your cake and eats it too. I can do a little bit of off-road. I can tow about any fifth wheel I ever need. It looks great. It's got massaging seats. It's got all the bougie interiors, 360 cameras. It's got everything I need. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're interested in this Platinum F-350, reach out to Josh at Bob Maxey. This is a sweet truck and it's ready to go for somebody. Thanks for watching.